Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Put It in My Mouth podcast. I'm Lala.
I'm Judith.
As always, with me. Yo, I'm sick.
You are. You're sick. You're so sick.
I'm sick,
No, you're
and
like
not in like
actually
this,
sick.
the cool way.
No.
Yeah, I woke up. It's officially winter in New York.
Yeah.
And woke up yesterday and just like couldn't breathe through my nose hole and holes.
Mm-hmm.
And now I sound like this. And so, yay.
All right. Well, you got to do the humidifier.
I know. It's
because
very
it's
dry.
so dry
Very
in
dry.
the apartments. Like,
Very
get it
dry.
together. You know what to do.
I
Drink
know.
hot tea.
I've got warm, like you guys
Oh,
are drinking sparkling
you put warm
sake.
water in there?
And I have warm ginger water.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. I
No, that'll make
gotta
you feel
treat
better.
myself. Take care of my self-care. Speaking of self-care,
Yeah.
we just came off of Thanksgiving weekend.
We sure did.
And I am thankful for what's happening on Monday, which is our Botox
party.
our Botox and filler party. I'm super thankful for my injectors. I want to shout them out. Dr. Michael of Valor Medical here in New York, and my injector in LA, Elena at Hush Med Spa.
I've never met Elena, but I've heard tell of her
I need to
prowess.
take you to her.
I know.
So-
but I don't want Dr. Michael to be mad at me.
No, he won't get mad as long as you're specifically on another coast.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You gotta have an injector in both
I'm going to
coasts.
ask him because I really don't want to upset him.
Yeah.
I want him on my side.
So I'm thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, I'm going to tell you about a whole different Botox game. You're going to see what I did there in just a second.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Holtox?
Are you mispronouncing Holbosch?
No, we did go there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nope, this is Holtox.
Holtox.
Okay, so
Wait, Botox?
Holtox is the slang for it, but yes, it's Botox in the butthole.
For why? Wait, is it for sex reasons?
It's for sex reasons. Yeah, so I guess it's usually done if you have tight anatomy. You can get Botox injected into your butthole muscles, and it will relax the muscle. It primarily, I read this whole thing.
Did you go down a hole
went on a
about
hole.
Holtox?
The jokes we can continue to make.
Wait, but is it only for men? Because I feel like there's like that thing where your vagina's too tight.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, where you're like your pelvic floor won't relax, and so all sex is painful. And I feel like maybe that's the same thing. But is this like you have a problem with your butt?
This in this
Or is
article,
this just like is it like we don't have a problem with our faces, but we put Botox in them anyway?
Yes, I think it's like, well, okay. The article that I read was talking about how it's specifically for male bottoms.
Okay.
Bottoms.
I know what a bottom.
Bottoms.
If you don't know what a bottom is, everybody Google it. I don't know what to tell you.
And if they're feeling a little tight, it helps the muscle relax. But if this vagina thing is a thing, then is Botox for the vagine as well?
I feel like it absolutely is, but now that you talk about putting in your butt, I worry about like anatomically. Like, is it bad for your colon to like? I'm worried. I'm worried about the people getting Holtox.
Well, I mean, it seems to be safe. There's a doctor here in New York that does this procedure
Maybe he'll come on the pod.
constantly. Yeah, we should definitely have him.
I'm gonna have so much Googling to do later.
I know, right? But yeah, I didn't know that like this was a thing that people do, but it absolutely makes sense.
So you have like Dr. Michael couldn't do this.
I want to have him on the pod because I want to ask him.
Right?
I actually, once I read it, I immediately texted him, and he didn't text me back. But I was like, Dr. Michael, tell me about Holtox. So
and he's like, I can't tell you about it.
Maybe he hasn't done the procedure, but actually the main procedure that this doctor, that the article was about, the main procedure that he does, where the big bucks are, penis filler.
Wait, like filler that we put in our
like filler that I put to get these
and the cheekbones.
They put in penises so that you can make your penis bigger.
Gasp.
Our guest is already gasping. You can do it. It doesn't last. I mean, it may last up to a year or 2 years and then gets absorbed into the body, and it can cost up to $10,000. But these dudes are getting their penises filled.
I feel like it changes the way my lips feel, right? So does it change like the sensitivity of your penis?
I have no idea. I don't have one.
Fucking fascinated.
I know, it's fascinating.
And is it like, well, like if it's curved one way, do you think they like try and fix the?
Well, the doctor did say, he's like, every
like
penis,
is it also like cosmetic?
Every penis is different.
I mean,
and
it would be cosmetic.
He's like, it's like balancing a face. You try to balance the penis for aesthetic value as well. You want to make it a pretty dick.
I mean, I have nothing against curved dick, so I'm not going to go there.
Well,
I'm fascinated.
Yeah. A lot
This
of
is
Googling.
fascinating.
We should probably bring on our guest, but I've given you
I want to talk about putting filler in penises all night.
given you some food for thought.
Yeah.
Because we've always been able to like enlarge the tatas if we wanted, and now
But
men
they're not
can-
functional. I mean, unless you're like breastfeeding. You know what I mean? Like the penis has a function. We should be concerned about its function. I don't want anyone to mess with my man's functional penis for it to like look different.
I mean,
Okay. Okay.
Tap me in.
we'll have to
And on that note,
we'll have to ask our guest opinion.
Yeah.
So let's bring him on. He is only in town like once a year. So this was a last minute thing, and this is why I was like, we're doing this even though I don't feel well and I'm feeling sick. You're welcome. He is a professional culinary competitor.
Oh.
He is a chopped champion. He won Cutthroat Kitchen when he was 21.
Whoa.
He competed on Hell's Kitchen, season 19, coming in just shy of the top 3. He came in 4th. He is he is a content creator, a chef, and a consultant. Welcome, Cody Candelario.
That was so good.
Hi, Cody.
Okay, how dare you guys let me just sit here and just talk about all that stuff? What the
I mean,
whole
would
talks?
do you feel
Whole
like
talks?
Here's my first question. Would you get your penis filled? Would you get filler in your penis?
It only lasts a year?
It could last up to 2 years.
So it does go away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then probably at some point,
just
you know,
to like check it out?
Yeah, I mean,
just
like,
to have a bigger dick?
I mean,
Like, why
just
not?
for like a year or some shit like that. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably, it's a conversation I'd have to have with my partner, but I could see like down the line, you know, like.
And the rumors start about
Okay.
Cody having a small dick.
I think it's Googleable at this point. We'll edit that part out.
Okay, no,
I'm
we
kidding.
won't.
We don't do that.
Good. I don't know.
So
Sounds
you're
like
a
fun
maybe.
for
You're
science.
a strong maybe.
I think it depends on how much. Like, as if it's like a. Well, I also echo your point of like, because I've never had Botox, so I don't know. I've heard it like is numbing. And you
Yeah.
don't necessarily feel that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
So
feel-
I don't know if I would want to sacrifice it for that, because I'm not necessarily interested in any sort of like boost if it numbs anything. Like it sounds like if
Totally.
there was no side effects, sounds like something fun to try, but not worth it. If it had any sort of negative effect, then I'd be
Right?
like,
I think that's a really sensitive area that we shouldn't fuck with.
I mean, we're fucking with our
unnecessarily.
faces, so.
Right, but like we don't fuck with our I mean, we fuck with our faces.
Yeah.
If you want to be technical about it. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like the penis is really important.
I get it.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I worry. I'm worried.
no, and me and my penis are like this.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
we
As
are.
they should
Yeah,
be.
you're close.
We're locked. So
yes.
it's not something where like, yeah, if it was something where we're
Like, oops, I fucked up my penis. Oh well.
Yeah,
devastating.
that'd be
devastating.
devastating.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I worry.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, we could probably bring someone on or talk to if you know anyone who has had penis filler,
Google
have them
us.
get in touch.
Let us know,
Please,
'cause
we
Gmail
want to
us,
know. We have
whatever.
questions.
No, we do. Like inquiring
A lot of
minds.
questions.
I
Yeah.
bet. I think if there was, it's 10 bands. I was gonna say, because if it was more accessible, it's 10 grand for it. That's
It
what you're
can
saying?
be up to 10 grand.
Okay.
Like
'Cause-
one syringe of filler is about $700, and that's the size of like
That's
a
little.
pea.
That's like one lip job.
Yeah, it's like one lip job.
And that does a difference?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It would make our Botox parties way different.
Oh my God,
It
we
would
need to-
it would
we
like
need
take it
to-
to a different level. I don't know. I think maybe
Let's talk to our friends.
Okay.
Let's talk to our male
Should we
friends.
move on?
We should.
Okay,
Okay, so
no,
Cody,
we can
so
keep
you,
this topic.
So you
Okay.
basically knew from a very young age that you wanted to cook.
Um,
You cooked for your mom for like Mother's Day one day, and you were like, "I like this."
You did your research.
Oh my god.
Oh, she's a researcher.
Then this is gonna get weird at some point. I have a feeling, depending on how deep the research was. I've always been a creative. That's where I've always found home. Is like making stuff, destroying it, putting it back together. Understanding stuff is like my wheelhouse. It makes me feel comfortable. But I started cooking when I was 8. Yeah, single mother. me. No, I'm kidding. My mom was a single mom, and she didn't have a lot of time to cook, and so she would come home. Sometimes she'd be like, I'm not going to be home until like 6 or 7. And so I had a cookbook, The Joy of Cooking, and I would just...
That is so cute.
That's not just a kid's cookbook.
Right?
That's
No.
not like spaghetti
That's
and
some serious
meatballs.
stuff.
Like, were you making shit with aspic?
Yeah.
I was no gel or anything like that.
Okay.
But I made a red wine tomato sauce when I was like, that I thought was like pretty freaking cool.
It is.
And then you're like 13 and working on a food truck at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind child labor laws. The boy wants to work. Put him to work.
Yeah.
What kind of truck was that?
It was a Yucatan style Mexican food. But it was Mateo Granados. Shout out to homeboy. He very ahead of his time. This is almost 20 years ago, and he got all of his food from the farmer's market and served food at the farmer's market. So and food trucks, super, all of that. I was like, he was 10 years too early. Because if that happened, like,
Farm
like
to
pre-COVID,
truck.
oh yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And I wasn't like necessarily like cooking all the time, but I was doing everything. So cashier, prep, just anything, all hands on deck. $20 a day. And I didn't realize.
Well, because it was child slave labor.
Yeah.
Well, you should pay them more so they shut up. I just didn't know. I remember after I didn't, I worked all the farmers markets 3 a week for like a year. And then at the end of it, I was just like, man, this is just what life is. Like, it's kind of hard. Like, you just got to
You work all the time and you make $20 a day.
That's fucking insane. I remember telling my mom, and she was like, are you fucking... She's kind of like mad. And she was just like, why would you do this? And I was like, oh, cool. If only I had some sort of like fucking guardian figure that was supposed to educate me on what was
Like,
right and
tell you what
was
the minimum
wrong.
wage is.
But yeah.
But you gained an experience.
Sure. Yeah, I
did.
really enjoy working. I always did.
And then you end up going on to be like the private chef for like the owner of Birkenstock.
Birkenstock?
You're really good.
Did they pay you in shoes?
I got a certain amount of shoes
Were
per
you a
year.
Birkenstock guy?
No, not before, but I was
Right?
then.
You're getting free shit.
Yeah, well, and it's different there. Christian, the owner, is a fucking genius, and he tailored Birkenstock to the country. So in Europe, it's all high tops and boots and stuff like that.
Right.
Sick shoes that we don't get here. And then here, it's just all sandals.
Wow.
So when I
that's
got
true.
there, I was like, oh, you guys have stuff.
So how long did you live in Germany?
Almost 3 years, I think.
Okay.
My concept of time is so fucking backwards. But yeah, it was about 3 years, yeah. It was a super random turn of events.
Yeah, I was going to say, then tragedy struck. Bum,
Yeah.
bum, bum.
On a couple, getting deported, and then
Oh, I didn't know about
Oh,
that.
you
I was
got
going to talk about your illness,
deported?
but why did you get deported?
we'll get there.
Okay. Drink up. Since I'm not really drinking, drink my sake, which is, they're not sponsoring us, but I'm going to give a shout out to Summer Falls because
They're
I
really
love their sake
delicious.
so much.
Shout out to Summer Falls. This would be
Yeah.
a great brand integration. This is
Dude,
pretty
I
easy
know.
to drink.
I know.
Gotta say.
And the owner is
I don't
such
know.
a gem of a human, and now they have a new yuzu flavor that I have to try. Anyway, let's get back on track. So, you're in Germany. You're working for Birkenstock, or the guy who owns Birkenstock, and
Yeah.
you get really sick with some sort of mystery illness, right?
Yep.
Tell
Some
us
mystery
the-
German illness? This
Yeah.
doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I don't know if it was German of origin, but it was German in terms of where I got it. But yeah, I was a career cook and chef up until that point. I came into contact with them when I was like 22. And up until that, I was an executive sous chef. And that was like the ceiling of what I had done. And then in my first month of meeting them and coming into contact with them, he was like, so you worked in a food truck? And I was like, yeah. He's like, so you know how to run one? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, get me a model number. And I was like, okay. I found one, and I was like, this
"Sir,
is
I was
good, but it's
13."
kind of expensive. And he was like, whatever. And then it was the Airstream was there the next week. And so in the first year, I opened up 3 food trucks. They're still running to this day.
Oh, damn.
And created a restaurant concept. All of a sudden, I had the craziest job in the world. Like I was, kind of basically a culinary director for. He had a lifestyle company called Bukhara, still a great company to this day, where all of his places that he owns and experiences that he does, he offers to the public. Huge tax write-off. So fucking genius. But I was all of a sudden in like private planes, boats, helicopters, going to a new country, continent all the time to set up parties, events.
And you're how old at this time? At
I
this
think I was
point?
22 when I got with them. It was one of those things where I was
Danger.
like, I don't know. Oh yeah, no.
Danger.
I was
Yeah.
shooting from my hip for 90% of it. There were so many things where it was just like I can outwork my lack of skill in these areas because I knew what it looked like. I didn't necessarily know how to paint it, but I knew that with enough time I could figure it out. It's a long-winded way of saying 3 years later, I had worked like all over the world and done so many things. We opened up 3 food trucks, 1 restaurant concept, an olive oil farm, 2 restaurant concepts, an olive oil farm.
Where was the olive oil farm? We love olive
in
oil.
Spain, in Alcoy.
Nice.
So much fun. I love Spain.
Spain is sick.
Set up tasting menu style like a mobile restaurant in South Africa, so that for his hunting farms, people could go
What the
shoot
fuck?
animals
God,
and
I
then have
want
that
your
animal
life.
broken down and have it be fabricated into a tasting
Dude.
menu. Yeah, but for example,
As long as you're eating all the parts, that's amazing.
all of them.
That's
Yeah, we made sure that every
amazing.
single
That's
part.
how
The
it should
program was
be.
really, really good. It took me, the hardest I ever worked was that first week in Africa. And I remember it was 125 hours in 1 week was the first week. And that was the same for like 3 months. And afterwards, so now if you were to go book that experience, you can go shoot an animal, have it broken down for you, and have a tasting menu prepared for you. You can have the pelt fabricated and sent to your house after and stuff like that. So it's full.
Can you
snout
get
to
them
tail.
made into Birkenstocks?
So yeah, yeah. There's some stuff that happened like that. But I mean, at the time, how that started was me saying that because I had worked in a slaughterhouse before, and worked on a couple farms, so I knew what it looked like and how to do it. I'd broken down pigs and stuff like that, and
I bet it's a really expensive experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was expensive on my body too. So I mean,
Oh, wow.
all of a sudden, I said I could do it. I get there, and there's just an empty warehouse, no ventilation, no cranks, no chains, no nothing.
And you're legit breaking these animals down.
And we're in the fucking Africa. We're in South Africa. It's hot as hell.
That's
and then all of a
intense.
sudden, they pull up with a dead zebra that they shot.
Oh my God.
If you scroll down on my Instagram, there's a picture of me breaking down the zebra. I had to do it in black and white because it would have gotten taken the fuck down because there's so much blood everywhere. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I was just like, I need X
What,
amount of money.
what does
So many
zebra
people.
taste like? I know everybody
Like
at home
horse.
is wondering. Like horse.
Okay.
What does horse taste like? I know everyone's wondering. Like cow. You know, it's like more.
I've had horse.
Have you?
But zebra has a weird, I forget what the chemical is called, but it has a weird fat in it that is like orange. So it's very polarizingly, because I've broken down live game, which is very red. The blood is like so much different than like a regular pinkish hue. This was like crazy red and then this weird orange color. So it's definitely, I was so tired at that point. I remember my mom called me and I hadn't talked to her in like a month and a half, and she was freaking out. And I'm like, Mom, I can't talk. She's like, honey, you have to make time for me. And I'm like, I literally can't. And she's like, what are you doing that's so important?
Covered in zebra.
And I was like, I'm making a zebra gravy right now, Mom. And I took my head from the ear and I was just like, I gotta call you back.
Words I never thought I'd say.
There's so many things like
You're
that.
living this crazy fucking life,
Mm-hmm.
jetting around, doing insane things, like breaking down whole animals, and then
Boom.
you get sick.
Mm-hmm.
What is this illness? Did you ever figure out what it was?
No.
How did it? Spoiler alert, or let's just tell the people what ended up happening to you.
Uh-huh.
You completely lost your sense of taste and smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how did this and this was how many years ago?
Almost 8.
Has it fully returned?
No.
No, right?
Oh.
Okay, so how did this manifest itself? Like, was it like a flu or what?
I was just going super, like that 125-hour week. That was like a semi-constant. And also I was just pushing my body to the limit, like doing like not to say rock star stuff, but like I'd be drinking all the time, and not in a way where I was like, I need to drink, but it was just like I'd pull off like 1,000-person events in a full blackout and just be like, everyone would be like, you were having so much fun. There was one time that was so embarrassing. The next day I was just like waking up my sous chef. I was like, let's go. And I was like, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I was like, we have the event today. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? That was yesterday. It's already done. And you nailed it. And I'm like,
Well, I was in a fugue state.
yeah. So anyways, just a lot of
Wow.
that stuff. And then all of a sudden, just, I've definitely redlined my 20s, and I like saw the limit of what I could push my body to and kept it at that point. And yeah, I just hit a wall. I got incredibly sick. My sister was working for me at the time, and I couldn't like move. It felt like a flu, but bad. I thought I was definitely gonna die in the middle of it. I couldn't like stand. I had to like have her like help me to like get up and go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And it was
terrifying.
Yeah, it was like a week of. It was 4 days that were really bad. Where I was like, I might need to go to the emergency room. Where I was like, I don't know. It was just like kind of, yeah. I was like, I can figure this out.
And how quickly did you realize, oh shit, I can't taste or smell?
32 days.
Oh, so it was after.
Yeah, because when you're sick,
right, you don't like, I can't really taste right now.
Yeah, you're congested. That blocks off your ability to smell, which blocks off your ability to taste. You know, you can still feel stuff. So your sensory stuff is there: salt, sweetness, acidity. Those are senses. So your tongue feels those. So I had that. But after 32 days, I was sick for 7, where my sinuses were impaired. And then after that, 32 days after that was when I was like, this might be a problem.
Oof. Yeah.
And then I got deported.
Why did that happen? This I actually don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to get people in trouble. But it had to do with that job. I left that job in a peaceful manner. I had some stuff going on. I had this pop-up that I was doing called Forest to Table, which was a foraged or hunted only event. So all the meat and all the stuff that it was involved was either foraged or hunted for. And that was taking off. And I was like, I put a down payment on a farmhouse and was going to build this farmhouse to be where I lived and where I hosted these events.
Damn.
And it was going to be filmed. I was going to start like a YouTube career. And I was like, this is it. And then quit the job, had a visa for 10 years through that job in Germany. And someone in the company who didn't like me.
Who do we have to meet up?
Had it terminated without my knowledge.
Are you serious?
So I put a down payment on a house.
Oh, no.
Or a farmhouse, but yeah, still a house. Got my mailbox set up. And at this point, it was empty. So like I built walls, put in light fixtures, water features, like all sorts of...
motherfucker.
Yeah.
What did you do to this person?
Not enough for that. I mean, I don't...
But I mean, for them to hate you that much?
Some people just don't like me. And I don't mean that in a coy sense where I don't think about it and I don't, like it's not something where I'm like, oh, some people don't like me. I don't, there's not a reason why someone should not like me to that point. I'm not cruel. A perfect human.
Yeah. But that's just cruel.
Yeah, it was really fucked up, especially at that time. I mean, they couldn't have known that I was going to go through such a detrimental life-threatening, or, losing 2 senses isn't life-threatening because of those senses, but it's life-threatening for just a creative.
And the way you make your money.
Spent my entire life doing that.
Damn. All right, so that happens.
That happened.
And let's talk about how you are how did I introduce you as like a professional culinary competitor? So at 21, before this job, you won Cutthroat Kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is just like an insane show, right? They make you
so
do the
much fun.
weirdest shit.
I love Alton Brown too. It was a dream come true.
Alton Brown, I mean, they're just constantly trying to like sabotage you, right?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
Okay.
It's my favorite. I knew that was the beginning of me learning how to be a confident person. That was the first time where I told myself ahead of time and completely believed it. I have no idea where it came from, but I was like, I'm gonna go there and win. There's no fucking shot. I'm gonna go there and win this
and
shit.
at 21 years old, cocky little Cody sure did win.
Dusted. It was so good. And they make it look like it was close and it wasn't. It was so much fun.
They gotta create that tension in the edit. You know this. So then you go on, and how does it turn out that you apply or you get scouted for Hell's Kitchen?
Well, I'll start with Cutthroat Kitchen because they're tied, but my chef at the time, Carmelo, shout out to Carm, love you, one of the best Italian restaurants that I've ever been to, and also one of my favorite jobs I've ever had.
Where is this restaurant?
It's in Lewiston, New York. It's right outside of Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Super cute. If you're ever in that area, it's like one of my favorite fucking places. That place just feels like home.
Lewiston?
Lewiston. It's a tiny little village.
Okay.
On the water.
I'm going to Google that along with the whole talks.
Right.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right? Okay. Lewiston.
I hated social media. I'm going to zoom through the story, but I was my first executive sous chef job when I was like 19 or 18 or something like that, the Water Street Landing, there was a cook that came in and he didn't do the Milanese prep, and he was like, I didn't know what #chicken meant. Instagram was just becoming popular. And I looked at all the 25 people that were in my staff and I was just like, I'm not doing this joke. I'm not doing this joke. I don't care if it's funny. The prep isn't done. If you made that joke and you got the fucking prep done, cool. But everyone knows it's Milanese. I don't give a fuck how old you are. Hashtags are new. This was not what
I remember being like, what the fuck is a hashtag?
I was so anti social media Carm was like, you gotta, Cody, you're young, you're attractive, you're a piece of shit. You gotta be on social media. And so I was like, Carm,
You have all the qualities.
I don't know.
It's perfect.
For a successful social media career.
100%. And
Yeah.
he was just like, you gotta do it. And so I posted on Instagram for like a week, maybe 2. And then I got scouted to be on Cut Their Kitchen.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a comment. And I showed Karma. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Look at this piece of shit.
Right?
Fast forward, after I got deported, I moved to LA and started doing all sorts of like any casting call for cooks, and whether it's an actor or in shows, I did all of them. And I did some stuff that like never came to fruition, but I just got into every casting directory. So when it came time for Hell's Kitchen, I got cast for it. Someone had me in a directory and was just like,
Yeah.
you wanna fuck around? I was 26 when I
With
did that.
Gordon?
Yeah.
That was what, like 4 years ago? That
26?
it aired.
Oh,
the
yeah.
show.
Well, because we were the one of...
It aired during the pandemic, right? That's when it was on TV.
But filmed when I was 26. It came out when I was 28. We were one of the first network shows that was affected by COVID. So we got completely pushed. We didn't know if it was going to get vaulted or what it was going to look like because we didn't have masks in it. So they were like, at one point, they're like, we might not show this because there's no masks on people. But I don't know if I can say this, but fuck Fox.
Sure you can.
You're gonna
Like,
absolutely say,
oh my God. Well, on many levels. But in terms of, this is a
I mean, I know it's
different-
not the same, but still.
No, like I did the Fox Daily. Watch, we'll come back to that. It's funny. They sold it to all of their other companies, other countries, continents, and so, but they didn't limit their access to it. So it aired in every other country except for the U.S. one by one, and I was still under confidentiality. So when it came out, I'm like, we're finally doing episode 1 here, it's already done for months in other countries, and I got people from like all just New Zealand, Peru, Philippines, just being like, we already this.
We already know what happens.
But back to the dick conversation.
Okay, full circle.
Oh, I like it.
It's called a reach around.
I'm gonna fucking grab this real quick for this story.
Grab that sake.
You can be naked on Australian television, apparently. So
Like full frontal?
they show
Really?
stuff.
No
they show
problem.
the bits.
Okay.
And towards the end of the show, because they do the
Why
whole...
did you streak or something?
Well, let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So, in how they wake you up every day, it's like super dramatic. It's like 5 to 6 a.m. and they're just like, go, this. And sometimes there's like a theme and there's like people coming into the dorms and like...
So that's a real thing. They really
Real as
wake you
fuck.
up with like air horns and like it's
Sure.
obnoxious.
Sure.
And it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. It's still dark out and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is
and then
that
you're
shit?
like, hurry up and wait. Like, so you do
Yeah.
that line up, and they're like, all right, we'll chill out for a second. But I'm 26 at the time, and they're like expecting me to like jump out of bed all the time. And I'm like, by the time, like, especially in like the later rounds, there wasn't a lot of people that were my age. And I don't know if there's an erection difference, but like in the morning, I'm not jumping out of bed on camera. There's nothing I can do to hide this.
Maybe you don't need the filler then.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Well,
Hey, yo.
they literally would just go so hard with that, and I just lost my mind at one. Not lost my mind. I was just so tired of it. I was like, fine, whatever, fuck it. Like, there's no way they're gonna
So
show
in
this in the edit.
Australia, they did, and they made like a thing out of it.
I never saw the screenshots, but people told me that it was there, and I kept every time someone was like, "Dude, we saw it." And I'm just like, "Show me, I want to see it."
Proof.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see it. So yeah, at one point I was just like, they're like, "Go get up," and I was like, "You want it?" I was like, "You fucking want it? Fine." I just stood up and walked around. Just
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
full.
They were
fucking
asking for it.
Swipe up.
And they edited
Wow.
it much differently in the United States, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But not
No
in
peen.
Australia.
No, I think there's peen in Australia.
Yeah.
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 Huh. Someone could start an OnlyFans in Australia with my stuff, I guess, from that
Okay.
clip.
Noted.
I don't. What was the question?
All right. So this is where it came out that you had lost, full circle moment, your sense of smell and
Did I
taste.
talk about it in the show?
Yes.
I
because
did?
I think so. Maybe, or
I didn't
maybe
watch
talked
it.
about it after. Oh. Okay, so you had to do like a blind taste test.
I panicked.
And I read in an interview that you, for the first time, were petrified. You
Yeah.
were super scared because nobody up at this point knew that you couldn't taste or smell.
No.
And you were killing it. You were like doing really well in the challenges.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're blindfolded and you're like, what goes through your mind? I'm fucked.
Blindfold, I crushed. There's 2 taste tests that happens in that show that I crushed. And I had like a system, so I lost it completely for 2 years. First 6 months, I was just trying not to kill myself. But in the first 2 years, after the whole suicidal thing started to dissipate, I approached every new culinary task. Like there was 2 people in my head. There was one person that knew everything, and I didn't know that person. And then there was me. And I guess I gave myself multiple personalities. But I acted like that person could teach me, and I could try to find new flavoral cues and ways to identify flavor from a new perspective.
Working around
So
it.
trying to teach myself.
A reach around.
Yeah, exactly.
You were reaching
Yeah,
around
fundamental
it.
reach around. Yeah.
So you were petrified,
Interesting.
but you still killed the challenge.
I had a system, and the system was pretty fucking solid. And I knew that there was a nominal degree of failure that was available that I was able to work around. There was only going to be certain things that were going to be a real linchpin. So like there was a milkshake thing where they were like, you have to try these and then guess the flavor. Mine was green. I immediately look at it and I move it around and I'm like, okay, no flavoral cues here. They're not going to go traditional, so I have to be ready. Try it super fatty immediately, like it's avocado. So that was easy. And then the blind taste test where I'm like literally blindfolded and they're doing it, you just slow down. You know, it's like there's so many visual, textural cues and shit like that. So it's like pineapple, easy to identify. Like a cut carrot versus a cut apple, like the fibrous difference. Like there's so many things so I crushed that.
You really have to hone in on those like minute
Slow
details.
down. Everybody
Yeah.
always overcomplicates those ones. But the hard thing was that for the black jacket. That's where I really broke down. Where I was like, I almost like wanted to walk off set and just be like, I'm fucking done. I'm good. I don't want to talk about this. I'm fucking scared.
Tell the people what the black jacket is if people haven't watched Hell's Kitchen before.
So for Hell's Kitchen, there's hella people in each season. There's 18 around. So you're all competing to get in the black jackets, and that's when the real competition starts. So the black jackets are when it's like the final brigade. You know, you compete.
It's one team.
Team.
It goes from 2 teams to 1 team.
2 teams, 2 huge teams to 1 efficient team. And so you're all competing. That's
You've
like,
cut the fat at that point. The people are out. The
oh
people,
no,
yeah.
that's where the real competition
How
starts.
many people? How many
Because-
people get black jackets?
5 or 4, depends on the season. Sometimes 6, I think. But yeah, this was for the first one, and it was a dish where they had a white fish, like mandolin stuff, so super thin, and a bunch of like orange cubes. And so the fish was easy to identify, but the rest of the stuff was really difficult. And they had every option of stuff in the back area for you to choose from.
They wanted to fuck
I
with
cooked
you.
one of each. And so I was probably cooking like enough for 16 dishes or something like that. But at one point I just started panicking. I almost cried. I was just like, I don't want to be here. This sucks. Like
They wanted you to cry.
I mean,
They
do
do.
they
do.
like the hours on that show? Like, how long are you actually filming a day?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
it's
you do you think that they intentionally try and break you down?
Yeah, 100%. I think
And
that's the
people
completely dynamic.
voluntarily leave, right? They're just like, I can't
I
hang.
think 2 people quit. 1 person went to the hospital for liver failure in that season.
Jesus Christ.
And how?
That's good TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh, yeah.
What are your shooting hours? Like, I read that it was something like 20 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah, it's between 18 to 20 plus hours. Yeah, depending on.
You're just everyone's
Especially-
exhausted
Everyone's super exhausted.
constantly. I also read they don't supply you with coffee. What the fuck?
No, it was
Wait,
so tough. We're
what?
like trying to get
That's abusive.
And because we don't have
That's
our
abusive.
we also don't have our phones the entire time. So I not only that, but I have and I don't have my wallet and everything, so we're just stuck in this building in this
With no fucking coffee?
this Jim Carrey roof above your head, but there's another roof above that. Yeah, you'd write a list for people like a commissary in a prison where you'd be like, hey, can you get us this stuff? And they're like, yeah, we'll get you some Red Bulls and stuff. But I did some prison stuff. Like I'm always like, you know, in my little
Some trades?
Yeah.
Well, no, I cut holes in my mattresses because they would take my pens and pencils. They wouldn't give me the ability to write stuff.
What? Why?
We didn't have time to practice. We didn't have time to memorize or anything like that. Yeah, and there was a lot of stuff with that show where I was like, some sides got more stuff than other sides did, and I asked questions in ways where I wanted to get the producers to tell me, should I expect this? And they said no. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, I gotta play dirty. But yeah, I would like steal shit. Like I would steal, like when I saw like cases of Red Bulls when I'm walking by areas that I'm not supposed to be in, I'd grab
Craft
a fucking
services for the crew?
Sure.
You're like,
I'd
those are
fucking
mine.
I'd
I
walk
mean-
into all the areas that said like, you can't go in here.
Seriously, if you deprived me of coffee, I'd be a criminal too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was hiding Red Bulls and stuff like that. I was making my own beer. I was making tepache while I was in there.
How long was this whole process?
32 days. 31 days.
Without your phone?
That I could give it. Well, because I mean, I love competition, so it doesn't matter if it's 24 hours a day. I'm locked in. I love that stuff. I could do it every single day of the week. So that part of it was super easy for me. But
That's a long freaking time.
That really is a long time
Yeah, it's a long
to
time.
be kind of shut off from the world, and also to be working those hours under those conditions. I would be mentally, not just physically, but like just absolutely done.
yeah, I think I would have made in another life a really good athlete because I'm very good at reminding myself, even if I'm tired, we got to go. We got to do this. And I always say in my brain, like, too fast, too focused, too fast, too focused. And just like little like sentences or something like that kind of keep me going. But yeah, you have like one day off a week where they put you in a hotel room, but it's not like a real
and you
hotel.
sleep the whole time.
No.
No,
can't.
sorry.
They drink their faces off, probably.
No, I can't because I'm not allowed to leave. I don't have a hotel key. They put you in this room and you're not allowed to go, and they'll bring you stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What
so
in the world?
God, this sounds horrifying.
It's pretty. I don't know. I'm really excited to do Top Chef at some point, or Top Chef, because I've heard they get treated really well in that kind of environment. But
Okay, well, speaking of treatment, the question everyone wants to know, what the fuck is Gordon Ramsay like in real life? Is he really calling people donkeys? And like, is that just
Is
for
it
the
for
camera?
for the cameras?
no, it's not for the camera. Well, no, some of
So
it.
he's actually a dick.
Some of it is for the camera. I'm assuming because that's what people want. That's
Right.
they paid.
That's
they,
his
they bought the
shtick.
fucking
Right.
ticket.
Yeah.
But I think that people are misusing his personality if that's all they see him for. Because if you don't know, Gordon Ramsay was almost the best chef in the entire world. The movie Boiling Points is about his road where he was trying to beat his predecessor, Marco Pure White, to be the youngest person with 3 Michelin
I love
stars.
Marco Pierre White's book. It's so
White
so
Heat?
good.
Or
Yes.
which one? Yeah. I like how big it is too. It's a fucking,
Great.
yeah. But he's a literal god. And as someone who grew up in the culinary industry.
Also a former athlete.
Is he?
Yeah,
Soccer
yeah.
player.
Yeah, he was like a soccer player
Yeah,
until he had an injury. Yeah, he was going to be
He-
like a professional soccer player.
The first time he and I went out to dinner, we was talking about that. And after he went through this whole story where he was just like kind of heartbroken. And it was cute. He opened up, and I was like, "This is such a cute moment." And
Was
I
this
can
on
go-
camera or off camera?
I don't think they showed it. But after this whole moment, I was like, I could be nice or I could not be. And I was just like, you ever think about playing a real sport when you were a kid, like rugby? After he's talking about like his like dreams getting crushed and stuff like that. And
How did he respond to that?
he laughed.
And then he
He laughed.
eliminated you.
And he punched you in the dick.
He'd be a tough person to fight, I feel like, because he's really athletic.
Yeah.
He's never late. He's never late. And wherever he moves, it's with a purpose, and it's super like aggressive in a calm way. And he wears a size 14 shoe.
Whoa.
And you know the
Yeah.
reach-in coolers that are like this thick of I kicked a fucking dent in one of those. Which like
Did you see him get honestly angry? Like
Yeah.
really
Well, I don't
fucking
know if-
real anger?
I don't know what he looks like when he's really angry. I don't know what that because I can't get in his head. I don't know if that's real anger. I think this is a
Then were people on the show actually scared of him?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I get scared sometimes too. Well, in a sense that I really want to do my job well. And, he'll come and he'll be like, you're not doing it right. This is how you do it. And he'll kick you over and just like do it real quick. And just the mechanics of it. Like, it's like being around a god almost, like in a culinary sense. Because although some people might not respect his food and they might go to his restaurants now and be like, this isn't fucking it. For the era that he pioneered and was
Yeah.
a part of, he's a fucking animal at. And being around him is insane. So he's locked in. His memory is insane. I remember there was a night where I couldn't remember a ticket, and I fucked up. And I like he came over and he was like, he's like, call out the ticket right now. And I'm like, this, and he's like, okay, cool. That's one ticket. He went through. He called out every ticket from that day's service. Yesterday's
Stop.
service and
What?
the service before
Stop.
that.
Just to
3
throw
days.
his dick on the table and be
Yeah.
like, look.
And I know
What do
he's
you
got
got?
an earpiece in, but I didn't see him rehearse. I think he literally had that in the chamber. And whether or not he spent the time to memorize that, or if he just had that in the chamber, doesn't
Both.
fucking matter.
Yeah.
Both are impressive.
Doesn't fucking matter because he came to work and he's that serious about it. So I think whether you believe in magic or whether you believe in the skill behind magic, he is that. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Legit.
Pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit. Well, speaking of
Shaking.
Gordon Ramsay and his food, I have a little challenge for you. And Judith's going to join you because she was not with me when I did this. Okay? So, yep, this is how my dumbass, sick brain is working. I have 2 plates of fish and chips.
Okay.
That's fish and chips. That's also fish and chips. Oh my.
So
That one.
I want you to taste them,
He's already called it.
and I want you to tell me which one you think is the Gordon Ramsay fish and chips.
Okay, it's that
Here in Times Square, New York, there is a Gordon Ramsay
There is?
fish and chips, like a 3-minute walk from this studio. And do you want me to tell you what the other one is, or wait until after you taste them? I'm going to wait until after you taste them.
It's that one.
Well, just taste them.
No.
Judith.
All right, fine. No, I'd love
Yeah.
to.
What is your taste level or percentage at now?
So, if
And I know they're cold and not crispy.
it doesn't
And
matter. I'm learning how to be a competition judge, so this has to be a part of it.
right?
Where I'm at now, let's say we were in like a 40-foot warehouse, and you like brought a shit ton of limes in. You were in one corner, I'm in the other corner. That's what it's like for me. If it was right in front of you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it's like it's there, but it's at such a distance. I don't know actually. That's fucking tough now.
Oh.
Taste the chips too.
Oh, fuck, man. Just for Gordon's sake, I hope I'm right. Fuck, he wouldn't put seasoning on it. Damn, I hope it's not that, but that might be it.
You want to get in there and sample, Judith? Are you curious?
Yeah, get in here with me. Come
Okay. All right.
on. Also, those two look like they're from.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! No, this is tough.
Just the fact that I had to go into this other place
I'm so
really pissed me off.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Is it-
This came out of my brain. All right. What do we got? So let's show the camera. Let me pick this up. So this will be called plate 1.
That's plate 1.
That's plate 1.
Very.
And then you can show the camera plate 2.
Basic.
I'm probably going to be wrong. This is the better plate, I think, in terms of like the breading style. There's a seasoning mix on this that. So I want it to be this one. I really hope it's not this one. But then again, this batter held up the test of time. This one didn't. Mm-hmm. That's so fucking tough.
All right. Do you want me to do the reveal? The Gordon Ramsay fish and chips is platter 1. The big
Whoa.
Okay.
The second platter is Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Fuck yeah.
And honestly, I thought the seasoning on the fries
Was gonna give it away.
was gonna give it away. And when
That's-
you said that, I was like, he knows. But I will say that I tried them both when they were warm. And while neither one of them were great, Gordon's was crispier.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have like, tasting that hot, it had a weird flavor. The seasoning of whatever is on it, I was like, oof, that's almost too much.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about this.
Bubba's fish. But looking at it, you're like, look at
it
that
looks
fry
nicer.
on there.
Sure. The unfortunate part about this one is that it does have some form of sugar in it, which this one doesn't have as much. So you get that caramelization color. If you don't have some form of sugar, they're just going to fry out pale until they get burnt.
Right.
Which you know. The unfortunate part about this one is that it's made with some form of starch, either potato starch or tapioca starch. Probably not cornstarch because it's not as mobile. And it wasn't fried correctly. This kind of starch does better when it's fried twice. Without it, it's fucking like
It was soggy when I got
bad
it.
karaage, like Japanese
Yeah.
fried chicken. That's that.
All right, so back to the competition shows. You've also are a Chopped champion, and that just aired like a month ago, or 2 months ago or something. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I hung out with you the day that you filmed it, like a year ago.
Yeah.
And you snitched on yourself.
I snitched on myself.
So I knew that you won.
Yeah. And
But congratulations. What was in your basket? What was the hardest basket?
uh,
Because I haven't been able to see it yet.
I mean, for me, dessert, but it wasn't basket dependent. It was because Stephanie Boswell came over, and she's very pretty, and she was just like, you can make I was making a lemon curd, and she's like, you can just do that on high heat and then blend it, and I was just like, yeah. But my whole thing that I'm in my head, I'm like, I set it up so like it's gonna take a while, but I have enough time, so I'm like, all I have to do is sit over this stove. Like I have nothing else to do right now. I nail this, and I'm good. And I listened to her and I fucked it up.
Oh no!
But you still won.
I did win, yeah.
What was the biggest challenge or hardest ingredient that threw you for a loop in one of the baskets?
None of the thing about the baskets was tough. It was just the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I love competition. That's my build. I have no interest in being the best chef in the world, but I'm a threat when it comes to competitions.
So it really is true. It's like they give you the basket, you open it, and it's like, boom, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. That's it. You're not pausing for camera setups or anything.
No, and let me tell you, this is an example of like how the baskets don't fuck with me. It's more so time frame. It's when you open the baskets, the producers tell you like, hey, like slow down. Like this is your only time where the clock hasn't started. So take the ingredients out slow. Identify them slowly. And it was an April Fool's episode, even though it didn't slate like that. Editing, I don't know what happened there. But all of the ingredients weren't what they looked like. So it'd be like an ice cream cone, but it's mashed potatoes. It was a fucking shrimp cocktail, but they were white chocolate molds with yuzu ice cream in them.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is like doubly, triply hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, see, I don't think
nuts.
cooking competitions like that are necessarily hard because the odd that someone else is very experienced with these things more than I am is very unlikely. And so the only thing that I have to worry about is them being on point, them being able to use their brain as much as they can because we all have the same amount of time. So in those moments, I'm like, I'll figure this out on the fly. I'm fucking good. So when we're taking the ingredients out when we're going, I'm doing it quick. I'm like, this is what that is. This is what that is. This is what that is. You guys have any questions? You guys good? Let's start this, right? And they're all fucking panicking. They're like, no, I want more time. I want more time. I want more time. And I'm like, no, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. The time was the hardest. I like to be clean. In Hell's Kitchen, I pride myself on having a clean apron, clean station. No one else fucking did.
But you don't get points for that. That's just your
But
pride.
it makes everything so much easier. If
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
And I give points
Clean
for
as you
that.
go.
I don't give a fuck if you win that competition. I
Okay.
will judge you by your station
By your
forever.
filthy
If
ass.
I
Yeah.
saw, because
Yeah.
it's just for me, and it's like I see who you are,
Right.
and also I'm like, I
And
don't
also,
wanna eat
who's
that
cleaning
food.
that up? You're not cleaning that up at the
No,
end.
and it's like there's so many people. Yeah, but I don't want to eat that food if it's really messy for the most part. Not always, because sometimes I don't care. But what the fuck? Was it?
Dirt, clean apron.
Cleanliness
yeah.
is next to
station.
godliness.
So for the first round, it's 20 minutes, and I was like, I really want to have a clean station. I don't want to be one of those people that's plating last minute. I don't want to be dumping sauces out. And sure enough, we're at 19 minutes. My station's not really that clean, and I don't have enough time to go get sauce ramekins. So I just dump a nuoc cham, like the Vietnamese fish sauce thing, on a fucking plate, which is supposed to be a dipping sauce.
Oh, well.
Oops.
I mean,
Yeah.
you still got that 10K.
Well, you know what? So Ted, the host of the show,
yeah.
my goal, which the producers immediately shut down, which I should not have asked. And next time I go on the show, I'm going to make it a point to fucking do it.
Ask
My
for
goal,
forgiveness, not permission.
100%
Yeah.
I should have done it. It's such a pussy move or whatever term. I wanted to make a fifth plate and make it for Ted. I wanted to, because no one ever feeds him. And I wanted to make Ted.
So nice.
And I told him when I met him, I was like, you're the most consistent person in this show's history. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you're my favorite fucking person on the show.
And he was like, I have no sway here. You don't have to kiss my ass.
I would have. Oh, yeah. I'm going to kiss it.
He genuinely seems lovely.
He's so lovely.
Yeah.
He's such a nice person. And he meant a lot to my best friend's mom, who's I can't remember what side it's on, someone we lost to cancer, who was like there, because he was the chef for the Queer Eye show.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that. The original one.
Yeah. And that was like her favorite thing. So chopped was her favorite thing. So it was very, very great to be able to meet him. But the long-winded way, I don't know if I can say this actually, but he messaged me after. And because I was like, it's so unbelievably good to meet you. Thank you so much for everything. You're exactly who I wanted you to be and more. And then he messaged me later and he was like, I knew it was you from Dish One.
Oh, that's really lovely.
God,
that's so sweet.
Nice.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that's pretty well, and I've a pretty good dish.
He's been there, done that.
Yeah,
like,
59 seasons or
yeah,
whatever.
he
58.
has no reason to.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
All right, so
felt-
let's
felt
get
good.
caught up to the present.
Okay.
right? Like you've had
You're
some.
good at this.
Look,
You're really
we
good
gotta
at
keep
this.
it
She's like,
tight.
stop talking.
We gotta keep
We've
it
got-
tight.
yeah.
We could talk for hours.
We're paying for the time.
All right,
I'm
we are.
tangential as fuck.
So you've had some projects in between, but
Yeah.
currently you're consulting and you're a content creator. Can we just talk about content creation? Because I feel like
What can you tell me what a content creator is?
there you go.
Yeah, I don't like the term influencer.
So is it the same or is it different?
Ooh.
It's different. I think it's different.
Probably, I guess maybe an influencer is someone who gets paid to do it.
I feel like influencers are just people who have kind of shitty opinions and maybe not
Okay.
necessarily any ethics. They'll just go get paid and have an opinion.
Could this just be semantics?
But
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
asking.
potentially, but I agree with you in the sense that the one reason why I don't like the term influencer is that in some people's cases they're getting paid to advertise these products. You're more
Right.
so work in advertisement. You're not necessarily because they're paid to make a product look good. That doesn't speak, I find, always to the quality of the product or
Absolutely.
No,
and
that's-
you
it's
are making these
advertising.
videos. You have taught yourself how to edit. Your videos are tight.
you.
They're shot well. They're fun. They're like, I don't know, hip and lively. I don't know the right words because I have Dayquil brain, but like,
hip and lively is what the
yeah,
kids say.
I mean, what?
Oh, that's definitely what the kids
The
are saying.
content you make, and this is a new thing, as of the past like couple of years, or I don't know.
Is it like making your own work? Like an actor would write their own show, right? And do you're like, this
Yeah.
is the work I want to be doing. I am making the work and I am putting it on the internet and I'm bringing it to the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my own
Not waiting
micro
for
network.
someone- yeah.
I'm like replacing television.
Yeah, okay.
Where you're combining, like commercial TV with ad space.
Right.
So instead of there being a break between the commercials and the ad space, you just make one fluid fucking thing. But it's different for everybody. Everyone's like
Yeah.
how they deliver content. Like it's completely open space, but it's the new advertising. It's in billboards. It's where billboards live. It's where
And so let's talk money. How much money can a content creator make? You have somebody that sponsors you, that's like, talk about my product or incorporate my product. Tell the people at home how, as a content creator, you are making a paycheck.
Well, I'm a culinary consultant primarily, so that's what's been paying the bills. But I'm trying to take that hat off more and keep my content creator hat on because I really want to build this platform. But it's super tough. It's super tough. I would say that I was doing really, really well with it, and then I got a manager. And I thought that this was going to be it. This. I'm fucking here. I have a manager. Good to go.
Yeah, because you have like 80,000 followers.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good amount of people.
Yeah.
That are interested in following my little life. Just crazy to think about. But I would say that it took me a year to figure it out to the point where I could start making money, and then it took me another year to figure out how much work I need to do versus how much work I need to allocate elsewhere. Like getting a manager was great in theory, but actually, no. That manager just did me dirty and really fucking, yeah.
So they did not get you the brand deals that you thought were going to happen.
I was doing so much work, and because at that point I had doing all my own brand outreach. I got to the point where I was, before, this was like a year ago, getting paid like $1,000 to $1,500 per video.
Okay. That's a solid number, but that could take
for
you.
yeah.
Oh, like how? I mean, it's
I'm
not
pretty
just
quick,
a day.
so it's usually 2 days, maybe
Okay.
max. It's one full day of work if I was to allocate it just straight hourly.
For you, overachiever Cody Candelario.
Yeah, I
Yes.
work really fucking hard. But not to say that's like the universal experience. Some people probably do it way quicker, but I shoot way too high. But yeah. Anyways, the manager set me back a bit, but that's my own. It's the
It's a learning curve?
Yeah, trials and tribulations of getting into a new industry and understanding that. For anybody that's interested in getting into content creation, I would say that you have to plan 6 months ahead. These brand deals take a long time to come into fruition, and then you have to deal with net 30s, 45s, and 60s, where
To actually get paid.
yeah, and
Yeah.
if you're unfamiliar with net 30s or anything like that, that means you're getting paid net 30 days away from the point that you release the content. And sometimes people have all sorts of stipulations, like if you post on the 1st, then it's 30 days from the 30th or the end of the month or something like that. So what I learned
So it's a
very
hustle.
quick, super hustle. Well, it's hustle, and it's also there's a latency to it. And I don't know if there's another industry that gets paid like this. But outside of this, like I had been a culinary consultant and a chef, and private chef and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm used to sending invoices, having my payment terms be very clear.
Right.
And people following
Pay
them.
upon
or,
receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, upon receipt. Or a bunch of stuff that it's 10% of contract value every month that it's not paid or something like that. And that is just not the flow of the industry. At least how I observe it. Now it's at the point,
Well, it's not like you have a union.
No, and I don't know. I'm just so uneducated on this, and maybe I'm super wrong, but I wish that and something I kind of want to start, is I think it'd be really great if there was a management company or agency where they take on clients and they manage the deals, but they pay the clients directly, and it's their job to recoup costs. That way people could get paid more on a consistent basis. Because content creation is really freaking tough.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it's like for other people. People are kind of like tight-knit with how they talk about stuff and like relay that kind of info. But
Well, thank you for your transparency and telling us how much you can actually make.
Sure. I mean, now I get paid between like $2,000 to $3,000 a video, depending on how much is involved with it. But I am...
But those are not starter numbers, people. It's not like you're just going to decide to be a creator and then like, look, watch the money roll in, right?
No.
Like you had to build your base of 80K followers.
Yeah, well, that, and I have the benefit of like, I'm not just like, people don't just know me from being a content creator. Like I like go out and do stuff. You know, it's like I'm on TV.
Yeah.
They saw your dick on TV in
You saw
Australia.
my dick on TV. If you're in Australia, then you've seen my dick.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you owe me money.
Absolutely.
All right?
Pay
$20.
Pay to play, baby.
Every person.
Oh my God. Amazing.
But
So
yeah,
what? Can you tell me what kind of sponsors they are? Like Tyson Chicken? Like who? Like
no, so I turned down jobs from Temu. I turned down jobs from, I don't like...
because you're not an influencer and you have some ethics.
Yeah, so I try
Good
to
job.
work with people that are like
Congrats.
really great. So I work with a lot of like local farms in my area.
Okay.
Or people who I think they're
people
like...
you a brand you actually believe in.
Yeah, it's got to be like I do, and I don't like in terms of food. Like food miles are like a no go. So like food miles meaning like the amount of gas or money that it takes for something to get from A to Z. The more of those, the less attractive. But there is a company from New Zealand that makes really great stuff, and I don't mind marketing their shit because it's really awesome stuff. Shout out to Made with Care. You guys, house a lot of great stuff from New Zealand. But for the most part, I'm trying to be as grassroots
So
with
that
it
must make making money even more difficult if you actually
Super
give a
tough.
shit,
Yeah.
right?
Super
if you
tough.
actually care
Yeah.
who's sponsoring you.
But I'm changing. I don't know if I'm changing.
But I'm
it.
changing. I'm losing my ethics. I'm
you know
gonna
what?
do a deal.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I want to change the space, and I don't know if I am doing it or if there's other people that are also doing this. But my whole thing with brands lately is like, hey, I'm not only an influencer, quote unquote, but I do real tangible shit that we can actually tie these products and stuff to actual events. And so I want to create a direct relationship where consumer can not only see but try. And so like, for example, like my consulting project right now, I'm working for an amazing farm, Gruff Grains, love you, in Montana. And they came to me and they're like, we have a marketing budget and we don't know what to do with, or we don't, we'd like to do a lot of stuff with it. We don't necessarily know what direction. And so if they were to go out into the market and spend this money on influencers, they would get like maybe like 10 videos to 4 videos, depending on how big the influencer is. And it would get them a certain amount of reach, and it would just kind of flatline from there. What I'm doing with them is like, I set up a competition. So I hosted one in Colorado called the Grit Together.
That looks super fun.
It was fucking sick.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Was it about grits?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're a grain farm and they make grits.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, so 4 chefs competed to make the best dish out of grits. It was a 120-person ticketed event. I had an alcohol sponsor that I did a collab cocktail with, live band,
We
live
wanna be a
judging
part of
panel.
your
No,
next
seriously,
thing.
can
You
we
100%
taste
need
your
to.
grits?
100%
And
need
that's
to.
not a euphemism.
No. Yes, Montana's. You guys 100%.
We'll
I'll let
fly
you know.
ourselves out
That
on
was
that.
just a tester.
Absolutely. To
Maybe
try
you guys
your
can
grits,
film.
baby.
Maybe you can film a podcast there.
Oh my God, we would
Oh
love
my
that.
gosh, we will take this shit on the road.
We sure freaking will.
Well, anyways, instead of trying to, if they were to go to a brand and be like, hey, we want to get a bunch of influencers to market a product. Instead, I was like, let's give a platform where guests can come and try all this food that people are going to create with this product. So
With
4
your
different
product,
chefs.
Yeah.
Not only that, but then the content that I create from this, then I can create a campaign where it's 4 different chefs that made that situation. So I'm really trying to bridge that gap.
This is more than one hat at one time.
I get to wear just one.
Absolutely.
Or I'm trying to combine one.
Yeah,
right now they
because
don't all fit together, but I'm going to sew them.
Because
or
you're creating content, but you're also creating events, but you're also, it's like
because you
working
are
it
a
all-
chef, which is super important. Like I can't stand influencers who want to talk in the food space about creating a dish and like just really, unless that's their shtick, you know, like some people are like, I don't cook, and like that's cool, but the people who pretend drives me crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the new Food Network. Like when we were kids and shit like that, like watching like, not to say Emerald, but like
I loved Emerald when I was a kid.
Loved
Bam!
Emerald. Yes.
He was a character.
That kind of that's what I see influencers in the culinary space as now. They're just like old school Food Network personalities. They're not necessarily like the guiding force, but unfortunately, you know, they do carry a lot. Not to say unfortunately, but there can be an unfortunate part of it, and it's that they carry a lot of the guiding information of what culinary is now, which sometimes isn't good. And I think there's certain aspects of it where we're really overly informing diners in a way that is not full circle. So they're getting a huge amount of the information, but they don't necessarily understand how it works. You have diners that are like, they understand all the vocab and they can reference everything, but they don't necessarily know how it works. So it's like, I don't know if it's adding to the pretension, but I think it's
adding to the pretension.
It's really changing the way that diners are. And that's why I'm trying to do more getting into, like, I want to create festivals and create like,
ooh, we're in.
Yes.
I know you didn't ask us to be, but we are.
In.
We're in.
Be fucking in. Yeah. So the goal with this, because I've always wanted to host a competition.
Should be fun.
It should be fucking fun.
It should be fun.
And I love nothing more than judging food. I did it on TV for a few seasons. I love it.
I can't wait to have you as a judge. You're going to fucking nail it. And this show is going to be that. I can't wait to, this Grit Together is just like the, I mean, it's going to be a lot. I can't wait to see how this evolves, and I have a huge roadmap for what I want it to be. But I want to bring competitions to the forefront to food event landscape. There's so many food festivals, one-offs, especially in LA and stuff like that. There's so many things. People love to be outside and experience, and it's getting away from content a little bit, which I love. And I want more stuff like that, and I think culinary competitions need more of a space than they get.
And I think you're the guy to do it. I mean, look at you. You just thrive off of that whole
Carmelo, like
Dude,
Carmelo said,
love
you're young,
it.
you're attractive, and you're a piece of shit.
Dude, and I believe in you. I
you.
truly believe in you. I think that if anyone can, it can be you. So
Thanks.
now we're gonna bitch. You gonna bitch? We're ready to bitch. We're moving on to our favorite segment here at Put It In My Mouth podcast called I Don't Fuck With That. Do you know how to do an air horn? Because we like to announce it.
That was pretty good.
What do you not fuck with?
It's lame, but I don't fuck with when people aren't happy and they don't think about it. There's so many people in the culinary space where you see them and they obviously aren't happy. They obviously aren't happy, and I just wish that everybody took a second and looked at their lives and was like, do I want to be a part of this space? Is this where I'm fucking happy? Because if you're not happy in the culinary
then
industry,
you're not being hospitable.
No, and get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I want you to achieve happiness just as much as I want to have a good fucking experience, and whether that's front of house or otherwise.
And also, you're bumming me out at dinner.
Bumming me the fuck out. Well, no, and it's rooted in a place where I really want people to succeed. I want to see people happy, and it makes me fucking sad. And there's so many chefs where I'm like, I see them and I'm like, you never stopped to think about if this is what you want to do. You started, the domino tipped, and you never stopped to think, is the right fucking space for me? So it's kind of lame. I could say I fucking hate Ruth's Chris, the name, because I do.
You know what? I always kind of had to. I don't really understand what it means.
Ruth's Chris?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse? I thought it was a person when I was younger.
Also, does Chris imply that it is multiple Cree?
Never.
You know what I'm saying?
Chris's?
Thought about
Chris
it.
Crises? Ruth's Crises.
Take it up with
That's
corporate.
a different restaurant.
Yeah.
Ruth's Crises.
I mean, if you ask me, that kind of stuff. I hate the name Aaron. There's too many A's. It's unnecessary.
Like, why?
It doesn't
Why do we
have
do the double A?
It's so
And why is there a
annoying.
different spelling between
Oh,
male
you're a
Aaron and
biblical name.
female Aaron?
Oh,
It's pronounced
it's
the same
Aaron.
way. Right?
Yeah.
E-R-I-N?
Aaron
A-A?
and Aaron.
Oh my
Come
God,
on,
it's so
you've been.
dumb.
Come on, you did.
All right,
voice
Judith,
work.
what is your... Actually, we may have the same one this week.
No, I think we have the same one.
Sick.
Because we were really fucking upset. We get pissed about
There-
something.
I mean, there's
It's
some
about
things that-
butthole Botox.
No, I'm all for it. I'm
Botox.
not upset about
I'm
that.
intrigued with butthole.
I thought it
Botox.
makes things firmer. That seems like the opposite.
It
we can circle back.
relaxes the muscles so that the
right,
the
it-
instrument or the
Yeah, but does it
member can
relax?
freely,
Like it doesn't relax stuff
It
when you put it.
relaxes the muscles, which makes the wrinkles go away.
I think
Yeah.
they're using relax wrong, but carry on.
It
Okay.
freeze. It isn't relax. It's freeze.
I'm not gonna relax and be like,
That's true. You don't look very relaxed. Anyway,
what do you hate?
do we think it's the same thing?
I think it's the hooks.
Oh, it's absolutely
Okay,
that. Yes.
okay.
We hate restaurants and bars that don't have purse
Don't
hooks.
have hooks. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
There's nothing worse than reaching under and touching a piece
touch-
of gum.
We need to start our own consulting company
If
because
it's
in this day and age,
if it's a normal height table, okay, fine, I get it. But if you are at a high boy
Dear Lord.
eating dinner
Dear
and there's
God.
nowhere to hook,
Why-
or if you're
why?
at a bar and there's no hook, because
Then I
now
have to put it in my lap?
Okay,
Level
it's
with me.
annoying.
All right,
and
here's
then
what-
you put it on top of the bar. That doesn't look nice.
And it
it's not
takes up
aesthetically
space.
pleasing.
and then I can't have it
And
in
I'm
my
not
lap,
putting my bag on the floor because that's bad juju.
right?
And it's gross.
Also, it's
I've
gross.
probably peed there.
You
At
probably
this
peed there,
point,
Yeah.
and it means
every
that you
bar-
don't care about your money when you put your the thing that holds your money on the ground.
Everyone should have purse hooks. It's
I have an idea.
Fuck, okay,
Yeah.
and wait, I'm not done.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Okay, so I feel like if you design a space and it doesn't have a purse hook, you didn't have a female involved in the
There
in
you
the
go.
whole process.
Which means,
Absolutely.
boo, it's probably gonna suck.
Which means,
Yeah.
boo, it does suck.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got really.
You know why food is good in Thailand? It's all women in kitchens. You know why food is good in the
We love
Caribbean?
Thailand.
All women in kitchens.
Oh,
Oh,
that is a.
You know why food is
that
good in
is a
Spain?
part
Solid
2 of
point.
this.
Because they just try really hard.
I was going to say, what about Italy? All the nonas?
They're annoying in Italy. Oh my god. Sorry.
All right, you ready for a speed round?
Wait,
no.
wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
We
Go
will.
for it.
I think you guys should start we can edit this part out. You guys should start a business where you guys make super sick little hook things and you just go around to
Merch.
restaurants and just walk in there and be like, I'll drill this shit in
I
right
brought the drill
fucking
with a drill.
I brought
now.
my drill.
200 bones.
And then
whatever.
you can
And they're
Five restaurants a
branded.
day.
Hello, ma'am. Would you like a hook for your purse? Because I can do one right now.
Yeah.
No, just go in there and be like, I just think, how many restaurants just didn't think about it? And
Right,
now
they're
that they're
like,
in operation, they're like, I
oh,
got
a
$400.
hook was
Seriously,
really
you know?
the next time I walk into a
actually.
restaurant that doesn't
Ooh.
have one, I'm pulling a drill and a hook out of my purse, and I'm just going to do it right
Charge
then and there.
them. This could be your thing. This could be your sponsor. You guys are your own fucking, you know what you call it? Hook me up.
Oh no!
Wow,
Hook me
we're gonna
up.
steal your idea?
I love it.
It's your idea.
Great.
I'm a consultant.
Okay.
A grit.
You
I mean,
really
the
are.
grit together was so I knew, but okay, hook me up. It's done.
He's got away with words.
It's
this
done.
one.
We're doing it.
Let me
Okay.
toot my own horn
Yeah.
for the grit together. One of my favorite things about that whole situation is I didn't want to have just like a normal trophy. I wanted to have like an actual function, so people just didn't put it on a shelf. And so we made it so like the base of the trophy, you could pull it out and there was a container attached to it so you could store your grits in there.
Oh my God.
Fucking cool.
You form,
Put your
Consulting.
weed in
function.
there.
Boom.
Speed round.
Wow, hire him. All right, speed round. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Okay. What did you want to be when you grew up?
A lawyer, fucking
This is a quick fire. You got to go fast.
lawyer.
What's your favorite slice of pizza in New York City?
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
And all of them.
the
What
right-
is your
that's the right
What is
answer.
your kitchen hype song?
There Goes the Man by Currency. This is stressful.
Go-to cocktail.
Ranch water, tequila, soda, lime, 3 limes.
What do you think you cook the best?
Things from the heart.
Specifically?
Fucking try me anything, all right? Anything.
Oh my God, he says
like
it right to the
Italian food?
camera.
I don't know. I don't.
Favorite Stony snack?
I can't anymore because it's fucking free Palestine, dog. It was a McDonald's double cheeseburger, but I haven't had one since a long
That's
time now.
rough. Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie's getting played at parties, but Tupac, if I had to choose one.
Celebrity crush?
Hillary Duff.
Oh, wow. If I wasn't cooking or creating, I would be.
This is so tough. Musician.
I relax by.
Weed, video games.
Chef whose career you would want. Silence.
This is the stumper.
I know, right? You're like, I want my own.
Well, I don't know if I want to be them.
You don't have to be.
But I
them.
really, really love Albert Adria would be really great. Albert Adria.
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He's the real person behind El Bulli, I think.
That's
that
probably
restaurant
a very
survived
true
via
statement.
pastry.
Yes. All right. The best thing you've put in your mouth. Or, nope. Sorry. Your last meal on earth. What would it be?
Hashtag chicken.
I was gonna be like some sort of sexual joke.
We've heard that one
We
before.
have.
Probably
Yeah.
my wife. Last meal on earth. There's so oysters. I don't know. I could be happy. Super easy to please.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
endless amount of oysters.
And recently, the best thing that you have put in your mouth. Give someone a shout out for a dish, a meal, something that really just tickled you. Really did it for you.
I'm weird with food now. I don't have like a big food favorite things since the
No
whole.
one's blown your mind recently?
So I was gonna say it's not a flavor thing, but it's a presentation thing. I was at a restaurant in Boulder, a sushi restaurant, and they had their ice cream served in cubes with skewers. So you picked it up,
Cute.
and I'd never seen that before.
See, I love when you see something that you've never seen before.
Right?
I know,
I feel like
especially because I'm
everything's
like,
been
how did I
done.
not think about that?
It's just
Yeah.
a fucking cube, dude. That's
What was the
It's
restaurant?
pretty sick cube.
no. It's I bet.
What was the restaurant?
I can't remember the name of it, but it's
we'll
my
put it-
favorite
we'll put
sushi.
it in the
We'll Google
episode
it.
notes.
We'll Google it.
Sick.
So
Okay. All
let
right.
me know.
I'll text you about it.
All right, tell everyone at home your socials where they can find you, follow you, etc.
Unfortunately, it's created by Cody, which I don't know. It's created by Cody. I love that name. It's my favorite name in the world. I am a content creator and culinary consultant. If you want to learn how to cook, follow my page. And if you need help developing any sort of concepts or have any questions, hit me up.
We love it. I'm so
love you
grateful
guys.
that you're
This
here
was
for like
really fun.
3 nights and you gave
Thank you for
us
giving us your time.
This
truly.
means a lot. I love you. I'm so happy that you're doing this. You're a great person to be a voice in culinary, and also you're dope too. I didn't know you until today, but you're
Thanks.
also
it was a real pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
don't know
so
if you have a culinary
much.
background, but I'll wait till I have a podcast and I'll have you
I've been
on.
a server. Mm. I like to eat.
She's worked in food her whole life.
We've all
in
pimped
all
tables.
That's-
aspects,
yeah.
yes.
I think if you don't, you shouldn't get like an adult. Like you shouldn't be able to be an adult.
Yeah, I think that
Like, you
when
don't
you're a
get-
kid, you got to get forced into a restaurant or retail. Either one of
Something.
those fucking things.
If you don't, you're just a bad person. That's my
Y'all hear that? Go work in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
yeah. But for more than $20 a day.
Yeah. Well, if you're older than
point.
13. I
Good
don't know.
point. You guys know where to follow us on all socials at Put It In My Mouth Pod. Please support us on Patreon. This is all self-funded. We would really appreciate you.
We need
giving
Botox
us
money.
A little cash money so we can eat and get filler, or just create this podcast. Go forth, put it in your mouth. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Woo! I almost
Nice
forgot
woo.
I was sick
Nice
for like an
woo.
hour.
That was a good woo.
What is I like it. What I like it.
Put It In My Mouth podcast is recorded at Podstream Studios and produced by Candace Fox and myself, Lala Zimski. You can find us on all social platforms at Put It In My Mouth Pod. Our theme music was composed by Javier Dunn, and our intro and outro segments were created by Tyler Milliron. Our editor is Saeem Asif. Do you enjoy listening? Well, we would love to take your money, so please consider sponsoring an episode or helping us out with as little as $5 a month through our Patreon. Your contributions help us continue to create episodes we love so much. Thank you.